What's the purpose then of putting a name in if you don't get to see it on the screen anywhere? Okay, so stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share what recipe I am filming this video with. It is not Eterna. Today I just want to do a quick video about a problem that I have with the Q menu. I have both the X-T5 and the X-S20. And I suspect the problem I'm having with the X-S20 is very similar to the problems you would have on the X-H2S or the X-H2. And it involves the fact that you have different menu system and different buttons on the camera. So the X-T5 that I have has the retro dials, the X-S20 has the PASM dials, and I'm perfectly fine with working with both of those. That's not my issue. Both cameras offer you the ability to set up custom modes, which I love. So you can work with film recipes, you can work with various different settings for types of photography that you're going to be shooting, whether it's portrait or landscape. You can set up different modes for video recording, what frame rates, etc. that you want to do. And the dials make it really easy to access on the PASM dial camera, right? So on the X-S20, it's really easy to be able to switch modes because you can see them right here on the top of the screen. You've got C1, C2, C3, C4. My challenge is, or the problem I'm finding is, if you don't remember what each mode means, like what custom name you gave it, when you go to the Q menu, it doesn't show you what the name is. It does on the X-T5. If I go to the Q menu, I can cycle through the various custom modes that I've set up, and on that camera it's C1 through C7. Now there's no dial on the camera to choose C1 to C7 like you would have on the X-H2S camera. That does have a dial where you can choose those. So the issue seems to be where you have a dial on top of the camera to choose your custom modes. For some reason, when you're in the Q menu, it does not show the custom name that you have assigned it. But on the X-T5, yes, you don't have a dial to choose your mode, but when you pick your mode, in the Q menu, as you cycle through the modes, the custom name that you have assigned is shown on the screen, making it really easy to remember which one is for what. So especially if you're getting detailed in your custom naming about what frame rate you're using, specific details about a film recipe, things like that, you have to have, the only way is to do exactly this, is to dig into the menu and see what names you've assigned these individual modes to be able to recall in your mind what they mean. There isn't any way to easily see that. I really prefer the way that it is on the X-T5. While there isn't any dial to change the mode, I can easily change it in the quick menu just by cycling through. And it shows me the actual custom name that I have assigned to it. So that's really easy to be able to say, okay, yep, I want this one. I know what it is. The name describes it, and I can choose it. So I think that Fujifilm has missed an opportunity here. There's plenty of room on that Q menu. So even if you just change the dial, it shuts off the menu. I get that. That's totally okay. But as soon as you click the Q menu button again, it should pull up and it should say C2 and display the actual name that you have given to C2 so that you can recall what it means. So that's my issue that I've got with the Q menu. And I'm wondering if there's a workaround for that I haven't come across. And if there is, please share it in the comments for everybody. And if you're like me and haven't found a workaround and are wondering why it isn't showing up, or if you have used an XT camera in the past and remembered that, yeah, there's the name, it's right there on the top of the Q menu, and you're looking for it on an X-S20 or an X-H2S, or an X-H2, and you're struggling saying, you know, where does this name show up? Well, that's the problem. There is a difference on the Q menu between the two systems, and I think Fujifilm should do a firmware update to be able to display that custom name. What's the purpose then of putting a name in if you don't get to see it on the screen anywhere? So that's just my rant for today about the Fujifilm Q menu. So did you notice anything different about the color palette today? Well, I actually am using a film recipe that Reggie Ballesteros shared on YouTube. It's called Classic Chrome Flat, and he got it from a friend of his, Harris Ahmed, who lives in London. So Reggie shared the recipe on his YouTube channel, and I set it up on my X-T5 today, and I wanted to try it out. I think I like it better than the Eterna. Share a comment down below if you like this better than the Eterna, or do you prefer the Eterna? I don't want to do any color grading, so I'm trying to get something that'll work really well just out of camera. My last video about the gear therapy session got a lot of views, so if you're interested in going through and thinking about how much gear you've acquired and whether or not you need it all, I highly recommend that video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more content like this, then hit that subscribe button. I'm on the way to 1,000 subscribers, and I really have a goal to get there by the end of May. So I'll be cranking out more videos as I can, and thank you very much for watching.